We are coming to you from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, where this afternoon Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Todd Frazier, Melky Cabrera, Jose Abreu, and our Sox as they get set to butt heads with Ned Yost defending world champion Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrells as we get set to bring you the finale of this four-game set. As you know, or may not know, they have taken two of the first three. We won the opener. We won the opener 7-4 in a nice comeback victory. Then they won game two, 3-2. And yesterday, a very rare bad outing for Jose Quintana as they won that ball game 10-3. But I guess the story right now is Todd Frazier.
You'd love to see the run producers producing runs at any time. For Todd Frazier, things are getting a whole lot more interesting as he gets closer to 100 runs driven in and 40 home runs. High tight fastball in the opener of this series got him certainly juiced up. He took it down the line in a tough at bat against Kelvin Herrera, and this started a 4-run rally. Then Danny Duffy's throwing zeros. He's throwing bullets, and Todd Frazier takes him out of the ballpark. It's his 37th home run. And with a shot, he'll get to both 100 runs batted in and 40 home runs. And as you can see in this series, he's been very good. 5 for 11. He's driven in 3. He scored 3. And so he continues to do it. Plus, he continues to do it defensively. And it's always a pleasure to see him play down there.
Well, we had a couple of talented southpaws in the bump yesterday, and we got a couple of young, talented pitchers out there again today.
Really going to be nice to see how Carlos Rodon bounces back from last performance, which wasn't very good. That was one of his rare bad ones, and the Indians were swinging the bat. They got him for 6 earned runs, took him out of the ball game after just 5 innings, and we'll see today, because for him, he's facing a team that he's handled pretty well in Kansas City, and for the Royals, Yordano Ventura last time out was pretty decent, although he couldn't help stop that sweep that Oakland did. So Carlos Rodon, 2-1 ERA, 2.28 against the Royals. On the other side of the equation, Yordano Ventura, 1-2 with an ERA of 4.57. So you would think the advantage would go to our ball club. We'll see what happens. And again, young pitchers, the bounce back is very important.
All righty, as we get set to say goodbye to Kauffman Stadium, the K for 2016. Sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Kauffman Stadium, where the Sox and the Royals are set to conclude this series in a few minutes. Earlier today, Robin Ventura met with the media, talked about the play in the second inning of yesterday's game. The Royals challenged an out call at second, and the White Sox challenged the same play, contesting that Paulo Orlando's slide was too far away from second base.
I'm not getting into it. I mean, we didn't lose the game because of that slide, but it's very vague. They can look at it and decipher it any way they want to decipher it, no matter how the guy slides.
Have you been involved in one where both teams challenge the same play?
No, that's probably the first one. I know it's happened before, where and they knew the situation that could happen. So even Jerry, before they went over there and looked at it, we knew that we would have to challenge it before they went over there and did it.
Would you expect them to give it more clarity in the offseason, or you think it'll just be something that kind of works itself
I don't know.
out?
I don't know, but I mean, the way it's written, it's pretty vague. I mean, it could go either way.
So you must be pretty happy with the way Rodon has responded.
I am. You're looking at a kid that he went through a rough patch and has been able to kind of see his way out of it. See the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're seeing more of what he believes he can be, what we believe he can be. He's just a tough kid, and I think that's part of what why you draft him, why you bring him up here early. He got here quick, and when you go through a rough patch, you're going to be able to respond to it, and he's responded to it. I think he's got great stuff. He wants to kind of take that next step, and this is part of doing that.
Potentially, he's a guy that could be an elite pitcher, isn't he? With his
Absolutely, and not everybody gets their first trip through the league, and if that's kind of the unfortunate part is that if a kid doesn't do it right away, there just seems to be this label that's there that he's not going to be able to do that, and it's not always going to happen that way. But he has the stuff to be able to do it. He has the mind to be able to do it, and I think he also has the strength to be able to do it. He's a big, strong kid, and he should be able to last a long time as well.
For him with the development part on the mental side, I mean, he pitched well enough to win a lot of games in that first half, but he's sitting at 2-7. To bounce back from that, is that a key part for young guys to kind of experience that failure and then rebound?
Well, the mental part of it, definitely, because you can get buried in this game and not be able to mentally get your way out of it to where you have the confidence to go out there and commit to a pitch and locate it and be able to get people out. And he's been able to do that. He's turned a new leaf to where the belief is there. He's showing it by his actions, his just the stuff he's doing during games, and I think that's the important part for him taking it this far is you're seeing that.
Chris is pitching Wednesday, and then Jose at some point in Cleveland. Do you figure one more after that for each of them, or?
I mean, we'll see how they are. I mean, again, you're looking at what's best for them, and if they're healthy enough to go and they want to go, they're going to go. I mean, it's that simple. But if something comes up to where they're not feeling right, they're probably not going to pitch.
You have guys you can plug in there, obviously.
We have plenty of guys to be able to fill in for that. We won't even have to call anybody up.
There you go.
Orno is good to go, obviously.
He's good to go today. He said yesterday during the game that he was ready to go. So he's going. Sal's still. I mean, we could play him, but I think an extra day would be best for him.
Yesterday, you guys got officially eliminated in the division race. I mean, do you look back again? Is there anything you can just point to over time?
We're just playing games right now. I mean, we've already gone through the period of all that stuff, and right now they're playing hard and they're playing to win today's game. That's it.
That's all you can ask.
That's all I can ask for these guys right now. Not worried about looking back a month or 4 months. I want them to play for the day.
Justin Morneau is back in the lineup today, hitting fifth as a designated hitter. We'll be back with today's game action after this break.
Chicago is brought to you in part by Toyota. Discover more in a Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Audi. Truth in engineering. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium on another beautiful day for baseball and the conclusion of this 4-game series. This is the last time we will see these Kansas City Royals for the year.
Good.
And you see one of the reasons why my partners decided to echo the sentiments that I think a lot of us feel, and that is 13 Royals wins to 5 Sox wins. 7 games won by 1 run. That's almost amazing. The batting average higher, runs more, home runs surprisingly 1 more, stolen bases certainly not surprising. The ERA down as far as the starters are concerned, and the bullpen ERA considerably lower. So that's the reason why you are 5-13 against his Royals ball club. Hopefully today, Carlos Rodon can go out there and have somewhat of a redeemer from last time out. It was a tough time against the Cleveland Indians, but our ball club has handled Yordano Ventura fairly well. And if you can hit his high fastball, you can usually hit him. Ned Yost has they have at this given time, and that is a team that absorbed a whole lot of injuries, critical injuries to key players. And although in spring training they looked like they were going to make yet another run at it, as it turned out, that's not to be, as Cleveland controls the division by 7 games. So Robin, who did say that he just wants to see his guys playing hard every day. You can't look at where you are in the standings or what you have left to go. These are professional players who play this game for the love of it, certainly, and for pride. They have a lot of that or they wouldn't be here. And so our Sox come into this one at 72-77. That's game 150. And so 150 games. This is 150th. And one of the bright signs is that Eric Hosmer this series has not done particularly well, and that's unusual for him against our Sox. He's 2 for 13. He has yet to record an extra base hit. He does have 4 driven in and a run scored. But you look at this year, 322 with 5 home runs for Eric Hosmer. He's driven in 17 runs in 15 games against our Sox this season. So he's a Gold Glove first baseman. Goes with a Gold Glove left fielder. They lost a guy who played awfully well at third base and Mike Moustakas, but they filled in admirably with Chester Cuthbert. And when you go through what they went through, the loss of Lorenzo Cain, another guy who's a Gold Glove caliber center fielder, you lose him to a hamstring at first, and then you lose him to a hand problem. That hand's still swollen. They don't know what they're going to get the rest of the way. They don't think he's going to be back, and you really can't see any reason for him to rush back. He'll be 100% next year. And the Royals in their powder blue tops take the field. So let's take a look at our Kia starting lineups. Adam Eaton leading it off, and last 16 road games he's been very good. And Tim Anderson, who's had a good series, in the 2 spot. Melky Cabrera, who's been tearing it up, along with Jose Abreu. Justin Morneau back in the lineup as a designated hitter. Todd Frazier at third base. Avi Garcia playing right today with Omar Narvaez behind the plate. And Carlos Sanchez at second base hitting 9th. The Honda City defense, and now they'll line up behind Ventura, Alex Gordon, Billy Burns, and Paulo Orlando in a very good, very fast outfield. Kristen Colon, normally a second baseman, plays third today with Alcides Escobar, Whit Merrifield, and Eric Hosmer. Drew Butera gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Yordano Ventura. He's 10-11, his ERA 4.42. He's still a young enough pitcher that he can learn a whole lot more about finesse than he knows now, because pretty much on the days where that fastball is a little faster and that curveball is breaking sharply, he does very well. On the days when that doesn't work for him, he hasn't learned yet how to finesse his way through performances, and that's the reason why, with one of the league's best arms, he's only 10-11. For a team for the most part this year, Kansas City has been a pretty solid ball club. We know they've got a solid defense. Let's take a look at the umpires for the game this afternoon. Toby Bassner behind the plate. Trip Gibson is at first. The crew chief, Jerry Lane, is at second. And Hunter Wendelstedt is at third. So we're going to start this game probably in the mid-80s. Not the usual complement of humidity as we move past the middle of September. And it will be once again, as it was yesterday, a very lively park. We saw the ball jump yesterday. Some guys hit some huge home runs. Alex Gordon, one of them. Todd Frazier, another one of them. Kendrys Morales, another one of them. So they've thrown the ball around the infield. Adam Eaton is ready to step in. Toby Bassner cleaning off the plate. And that means we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stoney, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to White Sox baseball right here over Comcast Sportsnet. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As Adam Eaton will lead it off for us. And the first pitch of the ball game from the 25-year-old right-hander is taken upstairs for a strike.
He's got a good curveball and a fastball that will go upwards of 96, 97 at times.
Well, there's two ways that, as you framed it earlier, on that high fastball, if you hit it, you got a good chance to beat him, or if you lay off of it, you got a good chance to beat him.
You can catch up that fastball. If he throws it thigh high, you get a much better shot at it than upstairs.
Oh, yeah. That a boy. Now, he's a guy you can get to. You can get in his head.
There's no doubt about that. That's been one of his biggest drawbacks.
Well, you did everything but say it when you were describing.
Yeah, you know, occasionally he'll lose concentration.
Gets him. 1 out. Yeah, this guy here, you can get in his head. So it's just not done today. So, you know, what we're talking about is a pipe dream.
Well, you're hoping maybe step out on him if he's rolling right along with his control. Don't help him out on pitches that are up and out of the strike zone especially.
Here's Anderson. Tim hitting at 282, 7 homers, 25 knocked in. And has been certainly one of the most impressive call-ups we have had in recent years.
You can get some of the base runners on base. Ventura, amazingly, has thrown 13 wild pitches this year. Nobody is even close to him on this staff.
Yeah, if this game had still had bench jockeys, they would wear Ventura out.
There's a couple of pitchers who are not exactly kids, but they're young major league pitchers that you can still get to. And of course, everybody knows who they are, but you're right. It's hard to do a whole lot in this era of baseball when you don't see a whole lot of that.
Top of the zone. So with 2 out, let's check out our picks to click. And there they are. Fans went with Abreu. Cruz going with Anderson. Steve's going with Melky. And Joe Simmons, Martha Black, Gail Tucker, Julie Taylor, and I. We're going to go with Abisail Garcia. Yeah, you let him pitch at his pace and do his thing, you got a problem. He has, Steve told you, he has better than average everything. 1, 2, 3 inning, and after half inning in play is our guys nothing and their guys coming up.
to you by Kia. Billy Burns leading it up, and Whit Merrifield, who this year has just tortured Sox pitching. Eric Hosmer, Kendrys Morales, then it's Orlando, Gordon, Escobar, Colon, and Butera rounding it out. The Honda City defense, and now Robin is going to put him out there behind Carlos Rodon. It's Melky, Adam, and Abisail in the outfield, and Todd Frazier, Tim Anderson, Carlos Sanchez, and Jose Abreu in the infield, with Omar Narvaez once again behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher Carlos Rodon, looking to notch his 8th victory. His ERA a touch over 4. Almost a strikeout per inning, and left-handers haven't done a whole lot. Right-handers have hurt him, and he's allowed 20 home runs.
So here's the speedy switch hitter. That's the souvenir right side. Royals come in hitting at 261 as a club. We're hitting at 257. Royals with a 4.19 ERA. We're at a 4.08 ERA.
I love that Todd Frazier is in and coming in with the pitch to take away the bunt from a guy who bunts a lot.
I'll be playing very shallow out there in right field.
You can see Todd way in, plus he's coming in on the grass with each pitch.
You know, the irony of this season for the Royals is, with everything that's gone down with that ball club, they have been the team, so to speak, with the most crippling injuries, certainly in the American League. I don't know about the National League.
No, this has been for them. They're right up there at the top. If not the leaders, they're in the top 2 or 3.
And this might be one of the best managing jobs that Ned Yost has done for this ball club to be over 500 with everything that's happened to them.
Well, for the longest time, I mean, you know, an injury happens and key player goes down. At first, it doesn't seem to affect you very much. You might even put together a winning streak, but they lost Alex Gordon and Mike Moustakas on the same play. That was at U.S. Cellular Field. So they were able to battle through that. Then they started to lose Kane, and then that became really difficult, and then the bullpen dissolved with key injuries, including Wade Davis. Eventually, you get to the point where you just can't overcome them anymore.
Yeah, well, yeah. When you get crippled up like that, you're going to lose.
And probably, I mean, it's hard to say that someone else's injury becomes a bright side, but you're getting a lot of young players looks that they wouldn't have had, and so they've been evaluated thoroughly.
Merrifield. Well, you know, you don't judge, unfortunately. It's what I'm going to tell you. It's not the way it is. Judging, so to speak. Everybody judges managers by the won-loss record. That should not be the criteria for judging a manager, because the mouth lies, the eyes don't. If you watch how that team plays, if they give him 27 outs every day and they play their butts off, that's how you judge a manager. Because if he doesn't have the tools, like a carpenter. If he doesn't have the tools, he can't build anything.
I talked about, I've always used the Sparky Anderson principle. And that was Sparky, the manager of the Big Red Machine, a dominant team in Cincinnati in the mid-'70s, and Sparky was a great manager. He couldn't do anything wrong. So all of a sudden, he gets on a plane and he flies from Cincinnati to Detroit. In that time frame, he became an idiot because he was really good in Cincinnati. He got to Detroit, he finished in last place. The same guy became an idiot. Well, 5 years later, when he got all the players together, he won it. That was 1984. He became a genius again.
Well, you know, as I said, it's very similar to a carpenter. You give him the right tools, he got a chance to build something nice. If you don't, forget it. Now, everybody's calling for Robin Ventura's head. Is he the same manager now as he was when we started off 23-10?
I think exactly. I mean, that's kind of what's happened.
There you go. Melky stayed with it. Line shot by Hosmer. Meanwhile, 1-2-3, and after one, no score. home opener against the Eagles with Chris Bowden, Lance Briggs, Alex Brown, and Jim Miller on Bears pregame live. Then flip back afterwards for Bears postgame live. Game day starts tonight at 5:30 on CSN Chicago. No, but again, you know, as I said about Rodman, is he the same manager now he was when he started off 23-10? When he was 23-10, he had a good bullpen. When things fell apart was when that bullpen when it fell apart because of the overwork that we had one off day in April and never recovered.
Difficult to do, and when you have a hot bullpen, you tend to ride them.
Like
when they're not, then there's.
How about Corey Crawford? When he's hot, they win for sure.
Yeah.
They don't. You get a hot goalie, and you're going to win. That's the way it's gotten to be in football today, too. The analogy would be, is Abreu, you can't win in baseball unless you've got a good bullpen. In football, you can't win in football unless you've got good D-backs. Because these receivers today are so good. They make catches that, I mean, it's like us watching all these good, tremendous young shortstops. These guys are making plays that, you know, that we don't see very often, haven't seen very often. Those guys make catches we haven't seen very often. Abreu is down. He is now 3 for 12 in the series. Yeah, but getting back to Ventura, if Billy Martin were managing today, it would be hard for Ventura to go 4 innings. Billy would be on him so bad from that dugout.
Well, he seems, and I think that they probably had a talk with him, I would assume so, because there for a while, it seemed like he was getting involved in some sort of altercation for his team on either game by game or sometimes every other game basis. And for hitters especially, and especially when you're in the race, I know every manager has a different philosophy about that, but hitters don't really like it if you're throwing at people what they term unnecessarily.
That ball hit in left field. Alex not going to catch that one. That's one hop off the fence. So Morneau coming back after about a week's rest with that bad neck. Picks up his 14th double.
Justin said he's dealt with neck problems in the past, so he knew what to expect, and he knows that it's just a process. It's going to come. He's going to play through it for a bit. Then eventually it's going to put him on the shelf, and he knows it's going to leave. That's kind of what's happened if you have any type of disc involvement, but that's a good way to come back.
So here's Todd. Yeah, Giordano was going to get some of his hitters really hurt.
And that was the premise of a few guys on their ball club saying, look, I mean, it's one thing to protect your team. I think the guys who play every day really appreciate pitchers who protect them.
Yeah, that's a different ballpark
right
there.
But arbitrarily, if a guy gets a couple hits off you arbitrarily, if you're going to hit them and then cause some problems, meaning 2 or 3 or your guys get hit, eventually it wears a little thin. And if the coaches don't do it, sometimes the players will go up and suggest ever so gently that you quit doing that.
Well, he was going to get Hosmer hurt. Yeah, boy, Todd. So here comes Morneau. He'll score, and it is 1-0 good guys. RBI number 94.
Well, both for Abreu and for Frazier, it's like a thoroughbred sniffing the finish line. The finish line and the ideal is to drive in 100. And as Todd gets closer, he's making more contact. He's 6 away. Jose is 5 away. And both have, well, not a chance. I believe both are going to do it. Get to 100 runs batted in, and Todd would like to get to 40 home runs, and Jose would like to get to 30.
Here's Avi. He's had some good at-bats in this series. Only coming up, though, with as there goes the Lance Johnson jump, and it didn't work.
It's a good play if the pitcher is either asleep or just allows you to keep on running without throwing.
That's the only way it's a good play.
And Ventura finally did the right thing. There's no reason to get rid of this ball early. If he had turned early and got the ball to second base, Todd might have had a good shot at getting back to first. You run right at him, make him commit, and if he doesn't commit, you keep on running right at him until he finally does, which is what happened, and there's the out.
So now 2 down. Avi 11 homers, 48 knocked in. And that ball hitting the gap, nobody's going to get that one. Boy, that's beautiful. He's been having some really good at bats. He drew some walks, and now he's going to turn it on. Here's the throw when he's in there. So he will pick up his second triple. And that's the reason Martha Black, Joe Simmons, Gail Tucker, Julie Taylor picked him.
Well, I would say you would be well out in front if not for that great catch by Melky that ended the first. But as you see,
All right, Senator.
Avi turns it on. He's thinking 3 bases as soon as he saw that ball in the gap in right center. It's okay. You're Avisail Garcia. You're starting to have your best at bats as the year ends. What do you do in the winter time to try to retain this momentum you've got and try to get yourself better for next year?
Well, just stay right where he's at. Don't try to think about. That's one thing the great Hall of Famer Al Kaline had a long talk about hitting, several of them, and one of the things he said is so true. When you go in a funk, don't try to look back and see what you were doing when you were going good. Just go back to the fundamentals. Go back to the basics. As there's a ground ball by Narvaez, but we get on the board and we'll go to the bottom of the second, leading 1-0. CSNChicago.com, presented by The Great Escape. Pools, patio, furniture, hot tubs, and more. Escape your everyday. Shop The Great Escape. Now, but getting back to Avi, if he didn't get his head crammed with too much information, and he is one of the most talented young players the White Sox have ever had. Well, at least in the last 30-something years that I've been here. And let him strike out. Let him go through his aches and pains. He's 24 years old. And when he hits that window, 25, 26, 27, that window we talk about, you will know then if he's going to get out of it. If he stays right where he's at right now, he's going to come out of it. He's got to have, he cannot be thinking about mechanics. He cannot be thinking about his swing. He cannot be thinking about changing the swing. He's got to stay with the basic, the fundamentals in approach. Morales, 1-1.
They look at some pretty good numbers for a man who is a switch hitter, power from both sides, but a much better hitter right-handed than left.
He's sitting close to 400, I think, against left-handers in the last couple of months, as that's out number one.
Jose Abreu did this, and we saw him do it the first couple of years of his career, and it seems like it's a very good approach for me, anyway. Looking at young hitters, when Avi's right, he hits the ball back through the middle. He hits the ball to right center field, and he will pull breaking balls or sliders that miss or anything off speed that he happens. That's where he's going to hit to the pull side. But if he stays back up the middle into right center, where you can wait a little longer on the ball, he's got a chance to be very good because of the exit velocity, which you can't really teach. It's there or it's not, and he has one of the liveliest bats in baseball.
To me, he's a 25 to 40 home run a year guy. That's high and deep. Melky back. And this game is tied at 1. And who else? This guy just haunts us. Paolo Orlando.
That's only the 5th home run all year. He's driven in 39. In yesterday's game, he scored 3 runs. He got on 4 times with a couple of doubles. And our 4th home run replay, he doesn't hit home runs often. But we told you it's going to be a livelier park today. It's going to be a lot livelier. As Melky drifts back, he thinks he's got a shot. He doesn't. And those are deep gaps. 387 is a lot longer than normal to left and right center.
He got some help, and right-handers are going to have some help with that breeze. Yeah, I'd have Ivy go home, tell him, look, go home, rest for 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month, no longer, and then go play one on ball. He needs at-bats.
He's going to wind up.
Ted Williams used to say, young players need at-bats. Young pitchers need innings.
He's going to wind up with 450 at-bats this year, in the neighborhood of that, which is going to be 150, 170 short of what, if he was playing every day, he would get.
There you go. Well, winter ball today is not anywhere near a big a deal for American players as it used to be.
No, winter ball was.
You got to be careful of the pitchers.
Well, you also played at a time when Venezuela was, if not the premier of all the places to play in the winter, it certainly was as good as any of them.
I loved it, and I made more money playing in Venezuela than I made in the major leagues. First 2 years, and my salary was $6,000. Down there, they gave you bonuses for home runs. They gave you a big bonus, which I broke the league record in home runs and RBIs down there. They give you a big bonus when you did something like that. So down there, all in all, that ball, that's hit deep. Escobar, and it's 2-1.
That's just the 6th home run for Escobar. So the non-home run hitters are taking advantage of a very warm day with a heat index of 96 and our 4th home run replay. Escobar gets out in front of this one and takes it out a little bit more to the center of where Orlando hit it out.
And here's Colon. Christian hitting at 229, 1 homer, 13 knocked in. Well, the best thing about it is that those flags when we hit are not going to turn around.
No, they're not. It's pretty hard today for these guys to make more money in winter ball, playing winter ball, than
you can't now.
What they make here. Not unless you're playing with oil.
Well, again, you got to be careful with pitchers because that in the past they've had a lot of guys abused down there because winnings is at such a that's by Frazier. They're teeing off right here. Carlos. That change up.
It was a change, and it was right down the middle. The changeup release point is of critical importance. You want to reach out, try to put it in the catcher's glove, knee high, and out away from the right-hand hitter.
Fans rule you don't want to throw changeups to little singles type hitters like Colon is. The old saying used to be knock the bat out of his hands.
First major league home run a few days ago, and hit that ball hard.
Here's Drew Butera, Sal's son. Now a scout, former major league catcher. Good catcher. Smart. Real good with the leather, not so good with the lumber. But a couple of solo homers. It's 2-1 Royals.
Miller Lite.
Top of the third inning. 2-3-0 for them. 1-3-0 for us. Carlos Sanchez then back to the top of the order with Adam Eaton. Yeah, but you're right to, you know what? And I didn't even hardly think about that. That's with the money these guys are making today. They just say, I don't want to go there and play. I know they probably got to be making decent money down there. I know some of the guys, as he gets them, some of the guys, even back in those years, Vic Davalillo, some of the natives who are really good players, they were making like 10 to 12,000 a month down there.
Well, what's happened, and it's a microcosm of all of the winter balls, what's happened to the Arizona Fall League, because when I first started going down there, when it first started, you're getting some really good players and you were getting some very good pitchers. And then in the last, maybe the last 5-7 years, you're getting really good players. You're just not getting the elite pitching prospects coming down there because teams are saying, well, they've thrown enough, or we don't want to expose them too much, or he can work on a new pitch in spring training. That's what he wants to do. So you see guys who have rehabbed, haven't had their innings. Those are the guys that they're sending down there mostly.
Well, what happened with pitchers is, as I said, they were abused down there if they got hot because they wanted those managers. They had all native managers, and especially relievers. If you sent a reliever, of course, the relievers weren't in vogue back in those days like they are today. It was the starters. You were only going to go as far as your starters would take you. Today you're only going to go as far as your bullpen will take you. But if you got a hot reliever back in those days, they'd pitch him every day, every game.
Well, that's one of the reasons why at first they got so many good pitchers in the Arizona Fall League, because you could control them there. You're not going to be able to control them
You can't control them anywhere
in the
else.
Dominican or in Puerto Rico or in Venezuela, but you can in the Arizona Fall League.
Nice snap right there. 2 down.
As long as a ball is hit to the glove side, a pitcher should have no problems whatsoever. And he's able to make that catch. Remember watching Ventura before he was ready to make the major league team, just as a farmhand with these Royals. And he just had as live an arm as you'd ever want to see. Threw the ball consistently in the high 90s. Had a tattoo of a blazing fastball on his arm. It certainly fit him. And you thought, boy, if he takes the next couple of steps, this guy's going to be unhittable. He's still got a good chance of being that, but he hasn't gotten where he wants to yet. And you see him, the career pitching totals, started 90 of them, 137. He's still 7 over, and then his ERA, 386. Not all that bad, but not as good as he could be.
Well, it's all there physically.
And there's no doubt.
He's hit 100 a lot of times. He's only 185 pounds.
That might be stretching it, because when he started, he was 155, 160 when he started coming on the scene.
3-1.
See the fastball 57% of the time. The curve at 25%. He doesn't throw a slider per se.
I don't think they want him to.
No. And in fact, Dave Island has said when he throws something that looks like a slider, that means that he's made a big mistake with his curveball, because he's trying to stay up on top of everything. He gets on the side of it. That's when it resembles the slider, but it's real bad technique, not anything they want him to do.
You keep getting on the side of that slider, you know what you're going to do to that elbow.
Yes. You're going to have the obligatory 14 to 16 months off after Tommy John surgery.
There's Melky. He went out to Gordon, his counterpart. And Gordon's going to get him again, fighting that sun.
Well, he couldn't see the ball for the longest time, and then finally located it on his way down.
Well, he's a Gold Glove left fielder, and you see he got the glasses on now. He lost it now he lost it again. Now he picks it up right at the last moment. Meanwhile, it is still 2-1 Royals. At PNC Bank, September 20th, 21st. That's tomorrow. and Wednesday at Citizens Bank Ballpark. And then we finish up 23rd, 24th, 25th. Final road trip of the season at Progressive Field in Cleveland. Two-1, Bad Guys. Burns fouled out to Abreu. He got a cookie right there and missed it.
You get a straight change, and Carlos got under that one. That's why it was right down the middle, and fortunately fouled it back.
So good speed aboard. He is 16 for 20 in stolen bases.
Carlos a little frustrated with himself because you just don't want to hit the speed burners, and he was able to get himself aboard without getting hit squarely. There is an art when turning away to get your elbow actually closer to the plate, as it looks like you're trying to get away from the fastball.
Good lead. And that change up grabs the strike. Yeah, Tim Foley and guys like that. Little second baseman was at Milwaukee and then went over to St. Louis. Those guys, it was an art. You pitch those guys inside and you were going to hit them. They were going to hit themselves.
Yeah, and these days even easier with that padded up lead elbow. That ball just right back and down below us.
He's having a lot of trouble with that change.
Yeah, well, that time he just rushed through it. He wanted a quick pitch, which wasn't bad, but he's dropping his arm. He's got to stay same release point as he does with his fastball and slider. If not, you might as well tell the hitter you're throwing a change.
You got him? That low fastball.
After seeing a couple of straight changes, this fastball looks a whole lot better. It's at 95. It's good enough, and well caught by Omar as he gently brings it back into the zone.
Here's Eric Hosmer. He lined out hard to Melky in left field. Not a bad crowd on hand for a makeup game, non-scheduled. They're averaging 31,919.
Well, just a gorgeous day for baseball. And a lot of folks have become infatuated with his baseball team, and after 2 great years back to back, you can understand why.
Yeah, they suffered for a long time.
They did that and got a lot of high #1 draft picks.
And made the most of it. They have an excellent scouting department. Donnie Williams heads that up, and he is one of the best. Terrific baseball man. There he goes.
So Burns steals it easily, his 17th. Mark could not keep the glove on it.
Better hang out, Tim, around second. Do some deacon. It might behoove Carlos to give him a couple looks rather than just one.
Just about every great base stealer will tell you the same thing. Easier to steal third, even though it's a much shorter throw than it is to steal second, because beyond a doubt, you can get a much bigger lead at second base than you can at first.
Ooh. Ooh. Close. 2 down.
Join us for the White Sox Bags Tournament on October 1st at U.S. Cellular Field. Grab a partner, come out to our tournament and see if you can win the tournament and take home a cash prize. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/bags.
Here's Morales with 2 down. Burns at third. Two 3-0 for them, 1 3-0 for us. If you're just tuning in, we're in the bottom of the third in the finale of this 4-game set and the final meeting of the year between these two clubs.
Morales with runners in scoring position has been very good. Last year he drove in 106. This year he will not get that one, but he'll come close to it.
Yeah, he just rushed that one right by him at 95.
The better part of the last month, Morales is hitting .354. Plus he started to really drive in over a run per game and hit 8 home runs. So as the season has moved along, Andres Morales has gotten a whole lot better.
That is high and deep. Stay in here. It will, right in front of the track. That wind, thank goodness, is not hardly blowing at all. Meanwhile, it is still 2-1 Royals. official Sox MasterCard debit card, only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. So go to wintrust.com/Sox to learn more. Member FDIC. Flips a curveball up there and grabs a strike.
Defense is playing Jose to right center field. Huge gap in left center.
They got him played perfectly. That's another thing this ball club does very well. They sort of like taking over Minnesota's spot as the overall best fundamental team in the American League.
Well, you see where Jose hits him. 55, he hit the left field, mostly breaking balls, sliders, sometimes straight changes, and a whole lot of hits to right and right center field. We've seen him go long ball a few times straight over the center field wall.
That ball's hit hard. Way back. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. A bomb. And this game is tied at 2.
That's his 25th and his 96th. And that was straight out over the center field wall. Way over the center field wall. Ford home run replay. This one was hit a mile. It's a low fastball. It's in the middle of the plate at the knees. He just reached down. They say it's 438 feet.
I'd like to buy some lumber from that guy.
Yeah, I think it might have been underestimated a touch. Thing is, it's 410 to straightaway center, and that cleared the second fence out there.
He can sell me all the lumber he's got. Morneau doubled and scored back in the second. And that has popped up. Get out of here. Trying to come back. Gordon can't quite get there. Good effort by Alex.
Well, he did the best he could do. Got as close to the wall as he could get. Tried to jump into the seats.
Well, that's one reason he's a Gold Glove winner, because he enjoys playing defense. He loves to have fun out there. He loves to make great catches.
He didn't miss it by much.
No.
I mean, he made a big effort.
Well, believe it or not, there are a lot of guys. It's like basketball. In the last 30 seconds and you're down by 4 or 5, they don't want any part of that leather. They don't want any part of that basketball.
No, that's a common occurrence, by the way.
Oh, yeah. That's into center field. And that's out number 1. And you got some guys, when that sun's out like this, they don't want the ball hit to them.
Todd Frazier in the second inning. Took one right back through the middle. And that was his 94th. And with that first White Sox run, E-Click Lending will donate $100 to the Pat Tillman Foundation, supporting military veterans and their families.
Pretty good curveball right there. Even though he got it up a little bit, it still had a lot of bite on it. Not a good curveball there, but he couldn't lay off of it. Escobar. 2 down. That'll bring up Avi. Avi is 1 for 1. Tripled hard into right center field. I said he's had some really good at bats lately. Some walks, some big walks, as a matter of fact. There's a chopper 2 hopper. Nice pick by a terrific first baseman. Bad throw by Escobar, and Hosmer made it look easy. But the long home run by Abreu, we tied it 2.
Culture with Hispanic Heritage Night on September 30th, presented by Miller Lite. There's going to be Latin music and dancing, special activities for the kids, an on-field parade, as well as a post-game fireworks show. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Miller Lite, official beer of your Chicago White Sox. Tickets start as low as $10, so to purchase, visit whitesox.com/NHH.
2-2 tie here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Orlando, Gordon, and Escobar. Orlando homered. Back in the 2nd inning. His 5th of the season. Boy, it sure is nice to be talented and left-handed, isn't it? Here he struggled all day with his control. Had virtually no changeup. It's a 2-2 tie here in the bottom of the 4th.
And when you get his kind of stuff,
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, his kind of stuff is just, it all moves. He had trouble with the release point for the straight change, but you see the last 8 starts, things have been going very well for him. He closed very strongly last year, doing it again this year at 5-1, ERA 2.77, with giving up just under 9 hits per 9 innings pitched.
He gone. Slider in the dirt. But he's, you know, he's got so many good. I told you that. A story about I met a kid who caught him some. At that time I'd never seen. I didn't know who Carlos Rodon was. The only thing I knew, we drafted him. So Casey, my son, introduced me to this guy. He said, Dad, whatever his name was, said he caught Rodon some. So I looked at the kid. I shook his hand. I said, tell me about Carlos Rodon. He looked at me. He said, Mr. Harrelson, he's got some of the biggest stones you'll ever see. That's the best thing you can hear about a young player that you just draft.
Well, I was kind of surprised. I think a lot of people were. Houston had the first pick in the draft, and they took Brady Aiken, who was a high school pitcher. And they talk about high school pitchers and the gamble that it is taking him.
It's the worst draft in
right, with that high pick, certainly. And because of that, at the 3 spot, that's when the Sox were able to draft Carlos.
Yeah, that's the worst. Do the math. Check it out. That's the worst draft pick in the draft. A high school pitcher, number 1.
And then when Aiken did not sign with Houston, he went out, played some independent baseball, wound up hurting his arm, having the surgery, and Cleveland drafted him.
Well, there are exceptions always to any rule, but as a rule, those number 1s have never had to compete. They just blew everybody away. In high school and college, you know, there was no competitive spirit that they had to have. Now, occasionally you'd get one that was really competitive, you know.
Well, look, for every Dwight Gooden who was a high school number 1, for every Dwight Gooden, you're going to get 500 or more guys that just don't work out like Dwight Gooden worked out.
Oh, yeah, at least 500. At least.
Yep.
But then those kids were throwing so many pitches because they were throwing. You got kids in high school today that are throwing more pitches than major league pitchers in a week. There's a Kansas City special. Little flare with shortstop's hit. I'll never forget that 2 years ago, that kid out in Oregon. The high school coach let him throw over 200 pitches in a game. He ought to be fired.
I was going to say, he ought to be
fired.
Not good for longevity.
And the funny thing about it was the kid's dad went along with the coach. Backed him up on it.
That was a good straight change, and he got Escobar swinging over the top. One of Carlos's best numbers. Opponents have a well-hit average of just .049 against Carlos with 2 strikes this year. It shows you how good his wipeout stuff is.
Ivy's too shallow out there in right field in this situation.
He is very shallow.
The first thing that is he comes in better than he goes back. That's number 1. And Escobar, who's not a power hitter, who homered his last at bat, but he's not a power hitter, but he can still hit a line drive over Ivy's head very easily. And then
that's off to the
Gordon's
races.
going to score.
It's off to the races.
Especially off a left-handed pitcher. Three and 1.
Number that proves the usefulness of Escobar to this team. When he scores at least 1 run, the Royals are 38 and 11.
There's a good strike. Well, I don't want to tell you, in the last 111 games that we have played, here, we've won 40.
In this ballpark, yep. This has not been a real comfortable place.
40 and 71. That's vulgar. Check that, 40 and 72. There he goes. And that ball into right center field. Adam is there. Two down. So here's Christian Colon, got a changeup and rifled it down the third baseline for a double. There he goes. Low throw. Gordon picks up his 8th stolen base in 9 attempts.
Second of the day, and they've picked up something on Carlos Rodon because they're going on first move. As soon as he lifts his foot, they're taking off. Not a good throw, but even with a great throw with that kind of jump, real tough to get Gordon.
A tell.
Yeah, that's what every good base runner is looking for, and that's what every team is looking for, is figuring out when the pitcher's coming home and when he might be going to first. That's why a lot of left-handers like to suspend that right foot. Don't bring it back over the pitching rubber, because then you've got to come home.
Yeah, those guys that hang that right leg, they're tough to run on. Two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Carlos has taken a great deal of time today, and apparently cannot come to a resolution on what he wants to throw him.
Most of the time it's the pitchers, but some of the time it's the catcher.
Sometimes pitchers just seem to slow it down on a given day when they're not quite as comfortable with their stuff.
Full count with Drew Butera on deck. We talked about that the other day, which they don't do anymore because they have different meetings. They're separate and apart from each other. As he walks him, and by that I mean the meetings, we had everybody there. In one meeting, the pitchers, catchers, hitters, and here comes Coop. And somewhere in that thing when we were going over the pitcher, somebody would say, well, has anybody got him? By that, has anybody got a tell on him, what he's throwing?
Nowadays it's even easier because you've got the video on these guys, and you can tell if they deviate even a fraction from what they usually do.
Well, and the next question that was going to be asked somewhere in that meeting was, anybody got anything on the catcher? But yeah, this is where we had a coach here named Joe Nossick, former teammate of mine and former roommate of mine here in Kansas City. Joe was a coach with us. And he was one of the best at picking up the other team's signs, picking up tells on a pitcher as far as pitches and moves to first base. And this is where somebody should get him, bring him out of retirement, let him sit in that video room and go over these guys. And if he gets 1 or 2 guys a month, it's worth every penny you pay him.
Just looking for an edge.
Yeah, because teams don't steal signs the way they used to. Everybody used to steal signs. Today it's not PC.
it would be really good to give location if you're the base runner out at second base.
Boy, I tell you, that is such a big help. Oh man, it's like, well, it is stealing. That's what it's like. It's like stealing. Gutierrez hit the ball hard. Sanchez. And the count 3-1. Obviously still shallow out there, but not quite as shallow as he was for Escobar.
Let's go start the bullpen to work.
Yeah, he's struggling.
He's really struggling, and he's really slowed it down.
Full count, and they'll be off.
A lot of work this inning. Pitch number 30 on the way.
He gone. The old slider ball. And that'll retire the side. We're still tied at 2.
'27 through January 29th, bringing baseball fun to the Chicago Hilton. You'll be able to get autographs or photos with current players, coaches, and White Sox greats. Your favorite areas are back with an interactive space to play games, win prizes, and shop for team gear. It'll be a weekend of White Sox baseball you won't want to miss. For the most up-to-date information, visit whitesox.com/SoxFest.
Omar will lead us off. Baez, 0 for 1. He grounded out to Merrifield at second. Totals on the board identical at 2, 4, and 0. That ball hit hard into right field. Orlando back now, jumps and makes the catch. He almost screwed it up, but a nice recovery to make a nice play.
Yeah, he didn't play it particularly well, but it was very effective at the end. Because at first he thought that ball was going to stop way short of the track. Then he wondered if it was going to stop at all. And finally, at the last leap, he made the catch.
That's the hang with him for Omar.
Well, you get anything on a fly ball today, and it's really exploding.
It's the shades of the Big A in Anaheim and Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, tough to hit the ball out at night, and during
At
the
night
daytime,
you can't hit it out.
It's in the daytime. Hitters just love it.
Oh yeah.
They don't get that many opportunities, but when they do, just hit some fly balls.
Yeah, at night it's very difficult to hit the ball out of. Well, they brought the fences in now, so it's a lot easier at Dodger Stadium. Two and 0 the count.
Outfield straightaway, not overly deep. Sure, apparently not happy with the location of that one, despite the fact that he got the second strike of the at bat.
Big gap in right center. And a full count. After the game, board our charter. Our United charter. Got it. Good pitch. 2 down with a tremendous crew. Jackie and the girls. Tanya. Joe Bonilla. Mark Seipel. Sparky. Well, they do a wonderful job getting our White Sox around the country each year. They've been with us now a long time.
Next year is going to be a whole lot more traveling as we hook up with the National League West. Trips a little longer, a few more frequent out to the West Coast.
They really make it just about as easy to travel as you can travel.
It probably is as easy outside of having your own plane right outside the ballpark here. Other than
Well,
that,
we've got our own plane right. Look, how far is our car parked when we land from the plane?
Yeah.
It's right there at Atlantic Aviation.
Right there.
Bernard Young and those guys, his crew, they do a wonderful job. You can't travel any easier than we do. Eating good food, it's catered. It's not the regular airline food. A lot of these guys, when you and I played, wouldn't know what it'd be like to travel.
Well, that was the old 3 for 2, and you travel on commercial flights, and then you'd get 3 seats for 2, which would really make the people who got bumped because of the team taking the flight, they would be very happy to see open seats, and they couldn't take them.
See, we had 3 for 3 when I traveled.
You're 3 for 3?
Yeah, we were 3 across.
You guys were traveling on a Sopwith Camel, weren't you?
Had a boy Adam down into the corner in Orlando, taking a little time getting to it, but he did the right thing. That way, it's not going to get past him.
Now, when you've got to sit out there, if you're going to play the corner outfield here, you're going to have to sit out and take caroms off the wall, because sometimes it'll just hug the wall and go out. Sometimes it'll bounce out. You never really know. It helps if, of course, it's your home ballpark, but you just don't get trapped too close to the wall, and occasionally, depending on the angle where it hits that wall, Sometimes you have to just go in and smother it. We see Alex Gordon slide a lot to cut off the baseball, so he doesn't have to worry about the carry.
And Tim is retired. He's 0 for 2 with a walk now. Meanwhile, we're halfway home, tied at 2. As we get set to go to the bottom of the 5th inning, we have 2 runs on 5 hits. They have 2 runs on 4 hits. It will be the top of the order. Burns, Merrifield, and Hosmer. So Carlos, who threw 2 solo homers in the 2nd inning, one to Orlando and the other to Escobar.
Burns was trying to push that right at Sanchez at second base, because when a left-hander is throwing, he almost inevitably falls off the mound to the third base side, leaving you a gap to push it to his left.
You know who was great at that? In fact, he was one of the best bunters, and really not known for it unless you played against him, and that was Jim Fregosi.
Did not play against him.
Jimmy was, I miss Jimmy. God bless his soul. He was a good man, good player, good manager.
Great evaluator of talent.
That was probably his strongest suit. And that's the name of the game in baseball. It always has been, always will be, talent evaluation.
John Schuerholz in Atlanta used him for a long time as the definitive answer when they went to make a trade. He would go out, he would take a look, he would give it a yay or nay, and he was a very valuable member of that brave organization.
Well, he was a very underrated player, and I don't know why, because he was great with the media, and the media loved him, but he was overall was under the radar. He's played a different style of shortstop. He was the stabber. And by that I mean he come in and stab everything. He never got his glove down low and came up. He always went glove high and went down, which you don't see that. But he made all the plays.
Well, there's a guy that went to the Hall of Fame as that style of defender, and that's Ryan Sandberg. He wasn't one of those ease it in and take it with 2 hands. He would reach down and
I didn't know that.
Yep, that's what he did a lot of the times. Great fielder.
The only thing I remember about Ryan was hitting. He was a good middle in hitter.
Yep. Was that?
And Dave Ross, on top of everything, tells us that Fregosi was a 6-time All-Star and won 1 Gold Glove. That's trouble. Well, when you get speed like that, those pitchers, especially young pitchers, have a tendency to make mistakes. That'll be a hit and an error.
Yeah, base hit, E1. Carlos knows that he's got to wait for gravity, but throws it way wide of the bag. Would have been very difficult to get out Burns, but now you take the double play out of the equation, and he's standing out at second base.
Well, most of the time, in that particular play, you'll have Tide or yelling, "Make a good throw! Make a good throw!" I said before, it's a good thing pitchers can throw a baseball.
Well, those that can field save themselves a lot of games.
Better believe it. Merrifield fakes the bunt, takes the ball. Yeah, guys like Jim Cott, Mark Burley, those guys, they say they won a lot of ball games for themselves.
Greg Maddux, a whole mantle full of Gold Gloves. Merrifield has yet to have a sacrifice bunt this year.
Tell you else was a good fielder too was Jim Palmer.
He was just, well, Jim was still is a great athlete. Did just about everything well. Doesn't matter what sport you're talking about.
Yeah.
Great athlete, and yeah, he defended his position. He followed through perfectly, and he was in great position to make the play after he threw the ball.
And he always knew where his infielders were.
Well, he could tell you when the ball went through that they were in the wrong place. I know that.
Well, he also thought if Rick Dempsey or Etcheberry caught the ball, that it's a strike.
That was it. Well, it stayed in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't blame him. No, he was just a great pitcher, and
yes, he was.
He's a perfect broadcaster.
Oh yeah, should have been in movies. Jim Palmer, Dave Ross tells us, was a 4-time Gold Glove winner.
Yeah, good hit.
How many did Jim Cott win? 17? 16 Gold Gloves Jim Cott won. Maddux won 18.
Pretty amazing.
Well, you're a good fielder.
Yeah, not in the league of the guys you're mentioning.
No,
they
but you were good.
They were wonderful.
You were better than average, put it that way. These guys were way above average.
I just took satisfaction in self-preservation because I never got hit above the belt with a line drive.
Well,
I got hit below, but my hands were good enough at least for self-preservation, like I say. And now, with maple bats, where the acceleration, the velocity is a bit greater than it was, it's becoming more difficult for pitchers. We're seeing more pitchers get hit than probably any time in the history of this game.
Yeah, for sure. And look at this. This guy does everything well against us.
He's just a good, solid player. I mean, he went up there with the sole idea of hitting the ball to the right side. Now, he faked the bunt. He's not a bunter, but it's an inside-out swing, and he does it perfectly. His goal was to get Burns over, regardless of whether he got a hit or not, and it turned into gold for him.
That was a good call for Dave Ross as well. Got a long way to go, but he reminds Rossi and myself both a lot of one of my favorite players to watch play, Michael Young. Pops him up, fighting that sun, and Timmy calls him off and then can't make the play.
It does go as no play. It's one of those that really difficult play for Todd Frazier. He calls for it, and then Tim calls him off and can't get to it.
Well, that's a no-no right there. When you got the third baseman calling for it, and you call him off and then can't get to it.
Get up and going. It's Juan Minaya. Runners to the corners and nobody out here in the 5th.
There he goes. 8th. He's now 6 for 8 in stolen bases. Yeah, I think that's 7 stolen bases. But he does a lot of things well, like Michael Young did. Michael Young did everything well.
Well, that was a straight steal. They were just flat out running on him because he didn't look back to see if there was any contact. So Hosmer was taking, Merrifield was going.
Infield in now. They're going to hold Merrifield as Burns scores, and it's a 3-2 lead. Runners at the corners, nobody out. So that misplay right there gives Hosmer an RBI single.
Hosmer's got 96 of them driven in. Never has driven in 100. And the big advantage to drawing in infield, because otherwise, Carlos Sanchez is going to make this play, but where he is with no angles on anything hit, he's got no chance.
First rule in baseball is that ball gets away. Now Hosmer.
And Omar couldn't find the ball. So we'll have to see how they rule that.
First, put a pass ball up there, but first rule in baseball, you got to catch the ball. You're going to win at the major league level, you got to catch the ball. Now they change it to a wild pitch. That's high and deep. And it is 6-2.
Runs driven in, and that is 29th home run. Kendrys Morales, who has been as hot as anybody in the league, continues from the right side to terrorize left-hand pitching. Towering fly ball that just kept on going. That's going to be the last pitch that Carlos is going to throw. And he's going to leave with a 4-run deficit on a monster shot off the bat of Kendrys Morales.
Well, he struggled all day, but still didn't deserve all that. He departs, and we'll be back.
4-run deficit, still early enough in this one to come back. And Juan Minaya is on for the 6th time. He's 1-0, actually been throwing it pretty well. Opponent's hitting just 158. That's what 3 hits in 5 2/3 innings will get you. So he's got to hold him right there, being the first man out of the pen, and Carlos's day is done at 4+ innings, 6 runs, gave up 8 hits. Not a real good day, didn't have a whole lot, and his Royal team in their ballpark, really difficult unless you come with your best stuff. Took him 96 pitches to get through 4+ innings.
First pitch strike. Two and one. Orlando was homered and struck out. Boy, we make a mistake against these guys and they just jump all over us. Had a little jam job, popped up. 1 down.
First 25,000 people who attend a Chicago White Sox game will receive a game card courtesy of Jewel Osco with a coupon for $10 off a purchase of $100 or more. Jewel Osco, your moment is our moment. Purchase tickets today at whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME.
Breaking ball. Gordon can't get it. Alex is 1 for 2 with a stolen base.
Severe shift on Gordon. Todd Frazier on the left side.
That ball into the left field deep, but Melky is back near the track. 2 down. Boy, the information these guys get today, if you can't get a good line on a pitcher, something's wrong with you. That don't mean you're going to get a bunch of base hits.
No, between all the analytical information and the visual information you get with all the video they have on every one of these pitchers, plus if you want, let's say you faced a guy 40 times, you can have him bring up every one of those at-bats and you can sit and watch 40 at-bats consecutively to see what he did, where he threw it, when he threw it, and how he threw it.
Well, to me, I would use these numbers more than the visual.
Inside edge?
Inside edge, yeah. I mean, for an example, let's just take Carlos tonight or today. Coming into today's game, opponents are hitting .475 on first pitch against him. 475 on first pitch. What does that tell you? He's going to try to get ahead, probably with a fastball, maybe a breaking ball, but they're hitting .475. And they're not hitting .475 off his slider.
No, it's always a fastball. But one of his big problems, and I don't think they say it on here, but one of the big problems that we've seen is that first pitch strikes. He was among the lowest in the league in the percentage of first pitch strikes. It was at 52%.
And they still hit 475.
Right. So when?
Well, how about this? On his changeup. Now you go to the plate 2 or 3, 4 times against him. As there's a strike, he didn't like it, but it was a strike. He threw his changeup 31% of the time on the first pitch. So in one at bat, you're probably going to get first pitch changeup. So Escobar doesn't like it.
I think that he gave him the boot, and now he throws out Ned Yost.
Well, he can't argue on ball and strikes.
Right. Well, Escobar didn't like the pitch. It wasn't a great pitch, but it wasn't a horrible pitch. Not like he called one over his head. Yep, you're up by 4 runs. He is their #1 shortstop. He gives him a bit of a say-so, and then.
Well, that ball had part of the plate.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't one of those where you're going to get thrown out of the ball game contesting that one.
No.
It's one of those you say, hey, look, I thought it was low, I thought it was wide, I thought it was whatever you thought, and then go back to it, but he didn't. Maybe he wanted a little time off here today.
So Al Mondesi Jr. will step in there with a 3-2 count. Mondesi.
It's a good position to be in, because if he gets the strikeout, it's going to be charged to Escobar. A walk or a base hit, he'll get credit for it. Mondesi.
Made a good pass at it. High into right field. And that'll retire the side. But 4 runs across the plate and they lead at 6-2. And 7-time Pro Bowler Lance Briggs for his thoughts on their Week 2 home opener against the Eagles and a preview of the week ahead. All of that and more. The Lance Briggs Show starting at 11 p.m. on CSN Chicago. Pretty good player right there.
Ooh. Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. We got a problem if you're just tuning in. We trail at 6-2. 4 runs just scored. Bottom of the 5th. 2-5-1 for us, 6-8-0 for them. Melky, 0 for 2.
Mondesi took his place at bat and takes Escobar's place in the field at shortstop. Live out your dream of becoming a professional baseball player by attending the White Sox Dodgers Fantasy Camp. That's January 15th through the 21st, spring training home of the White Sox and Dodgers at Camelback Ranch in Glendale, Arizona. So for more information, call Fantasy Camp Hotline 623-302-5078. Sign up by going to whitesox.com and click on Fantasy Camp.
So here's a Abreu. And here's what he did last time up. This is a monster mash right here.
The 25th and his 96th driven in over the back fence, straightaway center field.
Yeah, when you go against that back wall holding that scoreboard up. As Merrifield can't come up with it. That'll be a base hit.
Probably going to be enough to push Jose to 300. One hop rocket. Merrifield tries to backhand it, but the ball flattens out on him, goes into right center field.
And here's Morneau. He has doubled, scored, gone out deep to center. Been battling a sore neck. Oh, look at this little Kansas City special. Yes, it is. Little duck snort out there in the right center.
He breaks his bat and turns it into his second hit of the day.
Big statement right there is he made contact.
Yep, some good happens if you do.
Well, you know, when you talk to, not that you and I talk to these guys because that's the coach's job. It's Cooper and Todd's job. But the thing is there's a line shot, and that's going to be a base hit. So that's pretty much the case right there. Not checking the outfielders.
There's no doubt, because there was no way for Burns to get that ball, and Jose didn't know where he was lined up and trotted into third, but no chance of scoring him when you didn't take off right when it left the bat. He doesn't look out there. Now he looks.
Now he picks it up.
Yeah, but it's too late at that point.
And Burns, with not a cannon out there, if he knows where he is, he's going to score. But especially in situational hitting, which every at bat should be a situational at bat, and almost every pitch should be a situational pitch. The longer the bat, the longer the swing. The shorter the bat, the shorter the swing. And in certain situations, to go up on the bat, you get some guys now that are starting to understand that the shorter the bat, the shorter the swing. I love this kid Rizzo, Anthony Rizzo's two-strike approach. He chokes up about 1.5 inches, 2 inches with 2 strikes. Sox packed. One swing to bat right here. We're back in business. Here's Ivy. No. Get the force at home. 2 down.
Well, I'm wondering why you just don't step on third, then throw home and get the tag, because then you're out of the inning. So not a great play by Colon, but
it's a bad play.
He opens the door, yeah.
So here's Omar Narvaez. Watch out. He's going to get out of it. We threaten, can't do anything with it, and it is still 6-2.
The First Merit Bank Stadium Club. Memberships are available to season ticket holders. First Merit Bank Stadium Club is also perfect for non-game day events, including weddings and corporate parties. For more information, call 312-674-1000. And we get a new pitcher coming in. And it is Blake Smith on for the fourth time. His ERA an even 3. 3 hits in 3 innings pitched. He's yet to strike out anybody. He's yet to walk anybody. Nice inning of work by Juan Minaya.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
He, as they say, stopped the bleeding and kept it at a 4-run deficit. And a big opportunity went by the boards. Unfortunately, last inning.
Well, unfortunately, we've seen that a lot.
There is no doubt. A lot of close games. A lot of 1- and 2-run games this year.
Well, you said it early on. First before the first pitch was thrown. We've had 8 one-run games with these guys. That's almost unbelievable.
Only one time this whole year did our ball club fail to have the lead at one point in a game. And yet it's been just another horrific year in this park.
If it stays like this, we'll end up 5-14 against these guys. Well, you know what? You know why? I'll tell you what. You think we can get by with this? Every time we play Kansas City, we get terrible umpiring.
Yeah, that's probably not going to be the case.
You think that's going to fly?
Nah.
It won't fly. I don't
Probably
think so
not.
either. No. Oh, man.
Well, look, yesterday we saw 2 challenges on the same play and lost them both.
Yeah. Ate him up, pops him up. Carlos. I don't think that would work. So here's Butera. Drew is grounded to second and struck out. Drew having a pretty good season with that lumber. Comes in at 275 for almost 14 knocked in, which part-time guy when you're playing behind Salvador Perez.
Yeah, Salvi's a full-time guy and a half.
Well, that's Salvia with 20 homers, so they got 24 homers and 73 knocked in from that catching spot.
Not bad. Terra with now, after today and his 2 at-bats, only 104 at-bats. It's pretty tough to keep your rhythm with 104 at-bats all year long.
One and two the count. We head out to Citizens Bank Ballpark in Philadelphia after this game. Ooh, he got a cookie right there and missed it.
A rolling breaking ball right up in his eyes. He fouled it back.
Tomorrow, James Shields against Jake Thompson, and that game will be over WGN. Then on Wednesday, Chris Sale against Jared Eichhoff. That game will be over Comcast Sportsnet.
And it's a day off and on to see the Clevelands, who might have a better than average chance of actually clinching during that weekend series that we play them.
He got himself out right there. 2 down.
This ball just barely at the top of the strike zone. Looked like a little cutter. No contact. 2 up, 2 down.
Burns takes ball 1. He's 1 for 2.
Got a stolen base and a run scored.
Well, he started off that 4-run 5th with a Kansas City special, a little infield single. But they make contact.
This year wasn't quite as much contact as the last couple when they were the toughest team to strike out. But again, they haven't had their team together this year.
Right.
So it's, I mean, it's different guys playing.
Yeah, that they led the world last year in fewest strikeouts. There's one. And this year just 6th least. And that's one reason they're not in first place. Injuries and more strikeouts because of injuries. Got him. Oh, I think they got him.
I thought he beat it.
Looked to me like he got out there and got that ball.
We'll take a look.
But Tripp Gibson right on top of it. Got a good look at it.
Pretty good play. It's really
got
close.
him. They're not going to challenge it. Boy, that is close.
I think he caught the front of the bag. But he's at first either way. And he's probably looking to steal a bag.
6-9-0 for them, 2-8-1 for us. That ball hit hard. Melky can't get it. It's over his head. But Merrifield once again doing this thing as they're going to send Burns, and he'll score in the 7-2.
Second hit of the day with Merrifield. Just doing a whole lot of things right. It's his 25th run batted in. He's only played in 69 games. Not known as a big run producer, but we've seen him as a guy that can do a lot of little things right.
Merrifield this year hitting .377 against us.
But so far, we don't have a particularly good game plan against him specifically.
Fouls that back. Oh, nice catch, one-handed.
Right off the facade, it caromed, and the man in the lower bowl able to make the catch.
Size 377. He has 11 of his 25 RBIs against us. And there's a base hit. And it's 8-2.
Osborne getting ever closer to what has been for him an elusive 100 mark. He now has got 97.
That Merrifield, man, that's like throwing Brian Dozier high fastballs.
Whatever it is, not working well.
Not working well.
And Hosmer hits an off-speed pitch back up the middle. His second hit.
Second RBI now with 97. That got him. Ouch.
Right off the left foot, the top of the left foot.
That is not a good spot to get hit. So here's Paolo. Paolo 1 for 3 with his 5th homer coming back in the second inning.
Tommy Canely loosening in the pen.
That's into center field. That should be a can of corn. but they score a pair and they lead at 8-2.
Numbers of the various clubs who have not clinched yet. Cleveland Indians, 7th in the Central. Boston, 11 in the East. Texas Rangers, just 5 in the West in the American League. In the National League, Cubs have clinched. The Nationals, 6 in the NL East, and the Dodgers, 9 in the NL West. There are the magic numbers. The wild card races will be very interesting as we move down through this month of September on to the first couple of days in October.
They lead by 6. Top of the 7th inning. That ball hit hard, deep, way back. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes, a bomb by little Carlos Sanchez.
He likes it so much here that he hit his first in the opener and his second home run this year. 14th driven in, leading off the 7th. Ford home run replay. Tour throws a first ball fastball, and Carlos Sanchez hits a line drive out of the yard.
A long way. A long way out there. Hit on top of that. Estimated at 431 feet.
That's good.
And of course, with that home run, Alex Snellius with another generous donation to White Sox charities in loving memory of Ursula.
Ned Yost, in absentia because he was given the boot in this one, has got his bullpen up and going. Jessler Cuthbert is taking over at third base.
Mondesi. One out. Adam now 1 for 4. That double back in the 5th. So here's Tim, 0 for 2 with a walk. High pop up right side. Could be playable with that speed. It is. He makes the catch. 2 down.
Join us for the last regular season home game as the White Sox face the Twins on Sunday, October 2nd at 2:10. For Fan Appreciation Day, on that day, there's going to be hundreds of prizes, and they'll be given away throughout the game. For tickets, visit whitesox.com.
Here's Melky. Twice he's gone out to left, and once he has grounded out to Merrifield to second.
Want me to get Herm up here to stretch you out for the rest of the game?
Oh man, this cramp season.
It's going to hurt your stolen base ability.
No. Oh, I'll tell you, they get bad though.
Well, Ventura doesn't know, and all of a sudden jumps up. He sees his catcher right there, kind of wondering, an 8-3 game. I just thrown ball one. What exactly do you want to talk about? You might have thought Melky was going to charge the mound.
Big hack. And the count 2-1. Yeah, the older I get, the longer these cramps last. Oh. Big gap in right center if Melky can find it. Melky with 37 doubles this year, 5 triples.
Yep, he fouled it off. Fans thought that it was strike 3. Melky wants to know if Buter is okay. Right off the instep on the right foot.
That fastball at 99.
He's not losing anything. He's only thrown 85 pitches to this point.
Osmer. 1, 2, 3 innings, 7th inning stretch. Not good.
TV Premium. Watch every out-of-market game live on HD on more than 400 supported devices and enjoy a free subscription to AT Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackouts and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv. We've got a new pitcher who's just come in a ball game, and it is Tommy Kahnle. So Rodon for 4+, Manaea for an inning, Smith for an inning, and now Kahnle on for the 24th time.
Gordon 1 for 3 with a stolen base. Just a little bit low. Way out in front. Just tuning in, we scored 1 in the second. They scored 2 in the second. We tied it 1 in the fourth. They added 4 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth. So that's out number 1. So once again, we had a lead.
Every game but one. Every game but ball game yesterday. Sox have had the lead each and every time. Only see the Royals come back and recapture it. Glad to see has come up, and he's got the ability to bunt. Now he's got to show that he can hit. His dad was a real good player.
Oh yeah.
Had a great arm. Very powerful. A lot bigger
yeah.
man than his son.
His dad was 94 National League Rookie of the Year. Yes, he did. He gone. 2 down. Somebody's been working with him a little bit on the changeup.
Certainly, if he can do that, he'll be a whole lot better off. Nothing wrong with his velocity. He gets it up there in the high 90s.
Got to get something to get him off of it, though.
And Chesler Cuthbert, who came on defensively, in for his first at bat.
That fastball at 97. And that's a quick inning. We're into the 8th. Trailing by 5.
Miller Lite, and here's our Miller moment, and it came off the bat of Jose Abreu. Takes it deep to center field. This leading off the 4th inning. It was promising back then. It tied the game at 2, but unfortunately, Kansas City's were not done scoring. Our Miller moment.
And I want to send out a big shout out and happy birthday to our grandson Alexander on his 10th birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, honey. And here is Abreu. 2 for 3. And attendance today is combined with the tickets sold back on May 26th in that rainout combined 31,502. Send to right field, and Paolo Orlando with that good jump and that beautiful speed.
Normally you'd think that would have been a base hit. But in the category of not being able to teach speed, Orlando has a bunch. And Kelvin Herrera loosens in the pen.
Morneau. A double, a single, a run scored. He's 2 for 3. Got his average up to 263. One and one to count. I've never had a bad neck. Have you?
Got a couple.
Really?
Small herniations.
Really?
Cervical discs. Yeah.
That's down. Cuthbert. 2 down.
Nice play as he stayed down out of that ball slicing. Yeah, I can't imagine what it would be like to have to swing the bat.
Yeah, that's...
and have some neck difficulties. Well, look, it ended the career of Prince Fielder.
Yeah.
He had 2 different surgeries for herniated discs in his neck, and that was that.
I had a crick in my neck a couple times, and that was bad enough, but I can't imagine, like you say, having a bad disc. Checks it up. Todd's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Now has 94 on the season on his march to 100.
Well, Frazier certainly knows what it's like in Philadelphia. That is a wonderful place to hit. There's the home run leaders. Mark Trumbo hit his 43rd in that Oriole win yesterday. Then it's Dozier, Chris Davis, Encarnacion with 40. Todd Frazier lurking there with 37.
1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th.
We've got a new pitcher coming in the ball game. It is Anthony Renato, who's not been out there in a while, on for the 8th time. 1-1 ERA up there. We'll start with the bottom part of the order before swinging to the top.
Drew is 0 for 3. Well, we had mentioned 31,502 today. Yesterday, 34,982. 34,805 the day before.
Very well attended series. Last time Anthony was out there was September 4th against the Twins in the Twin Cities. Able to just stay alive.
The 1-2. He gone. Right on the outside corner. That is a B pitch right there. Just tip your cap.
He put it in a perfect spot.
Yeah.
And Omar didn't have to move the glove.
Yep. Leadoff hitter Billy Burns is 2 for 3. 3 for 4.
Got him out the first time, hit him the second time where he stole a base, and then 3 straight singles. Acquired from Oakland to give them something that they had a lot of, and that was an outfielder with speed. Gerard Dyson and Terrence Gore.
Here's Merrifield. Takes a high breaking ball for a strike.
Likely Noah throwing in the pen.
Well, how about those Mets? Well, all the troubles they've had.
Yeah, it's really
David Wright.
It's really surprising that the pitching staff has fallen apart.
Yeah, they're still half game in front of the Giants for the wild card.
It's actually been amazing for the Mets, amazing for the Yankees.
He gone. 2 down.
That's what it looks like with the Mets and the Giants both trying to hold off the Cardinals, who are 2 losses back of the Mets, 1 loss in back of the Giants. And things a little dismal for the Pirates and the Marlins.
Osmer 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Baltimore. 1 game in front of Toronto. Wild card.
Scott Alexander loosening up in the pen for Kansas City.
That's fair ball. And a nice inning for Anthony Renato. We're into the ninth. We got a long way to go. Our road trip continues as our Sox head to Philadelphia for an interleague battle with the Phillies. It all starts at 6 on CSN Chicago. Well, I remember a game not too long ago here. We had a 7-run lead going to the bottom of the 9th inning, and we got beat in 9. Didn't even have to go extra. So let's put one back on them. We trailed it 8-3 here in the top of the 9th.
The Ventura curveball has stayed pretty consistent, and he hasn't reached 100 pitches yet, still with velocity in the high 90s.
That was a 7-1 lead we had going to the bottom of the 9th, and we lost it 8-7. Boy, he was just underneath that one. That one had a chance to be a landmarker.
Time now for our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and we'll go all the way back to the 2nd inning. Javi, after a double and a single, runs this one into a triple. His 2nd of the year. Xfinity high-speed action replay.
He is getting there. Here is Omar. Takes first pitch strike. That one at 98 here in the top of the 9th inning. Ate him up right there. Flips it over our dugout. And the count. 0-2.
Ventura has one complete game as he ventures into pitch number 101.
In case you're also just tuning in, Abreu hit his 25th of the season, 451 feet to center field. I mean, it was a bomb. And he is the first White Sox player ever with 25 homers in each of his first 3 seasons.
And he is creeping up and will surpass 100 driven in.
That is into Gordon territory. 2 down.
Here's a guy that hit his 2nd home run of the year today, and no cheapie.
No. You wouldn't think he could generate that much power.
Yep, he did.
To hit it where he hit it. Starts him off with a changeup. If you missed it, poof.
Got every bit of a tailing fastball out over the plate. It took it way back there.
That pitch at 99. For the most part today, if you're just tuning in, we've been overmatched by this young man.
He always has good stuff. Today he actually used it very well.
And this ball game is over. So we take the first one. They take the last 3 of this 4-game set. And Steve, just another bad trip here in Kansas City.
Yeah, no doubt. Losing 3 of 4. That's the way it's been of recent vintage. And today, Carlos Rodon went out there, didn't have it. The Royals took advantage of it. And once again, guys who have had good series continue their good series, notably Orlando, Merrifield, and Hosmer to go with Morales.
All right, so for my partner, Stone Pony, Steve Stone, our director, Jermaine Joe, our producer, John Walgren, our associate producer, Dave Ross, our technical manager, Mark Harper, also the executive producer, Jim Corno Jr., and for Sherry, for Adam, for Todd. This is the Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, Subaru Postgame Live with Layla and Bill. Belton Bill Melton. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.